Now let's go to a use case. Let's make believe I'm Ken Lay, and I'm realizing that Jeffrey Skilling is really ruining my company. And I want to know all references between he and I because I'd like to fire him. And we'll go ahead and search on that. And you'll see various emails here. So let's just go and look on Enron mentions down here. And you'll see various emails that reference he and I and information associated with that. I can, again, use hit highlighting and actually come down here into the depths of the email and understand where the cross-references and the relationships are. Well, I'd like to fire him, and I need to understand what our policies and procedures are. So I'm going to go over here to our policies and procedures repository, which is in Microsoft SharePoint, and I'm going to query on that. And we'll search on that. And you'll see conduct for disciplinary action here. I'll pull this Word document up, and you can see actually policies and procedures when taking disciplinary action and what our rules and regulations are for firing our president and COO. Well, unbeknownst to me while I'm wanting to do this, something very strange happens to me on the way to hiring Jeffrey Skilling. And I didn't know this until after it happened to me, but Wikipedia, which is a federated source, did a really good job of telling the world what was happening to me or what was going to happen. And I pull up the definition of who I am and where I'm at, and you've got the life and death of myself, Ken Lay, and when I was born, when I was died, and my mugshot when I was arrested. So I didn't get to fire Jeffrey Skilling. But some interesting thing happened to me on the way to that is I was reincarnated as a dugong. And for those of you who don't know who dugongs are, they're populations in the South Pacific of fish. And you'll see various references to me in the HP-Trim repository. If I just pull up one here, it'll actually interact and talk to my trim client, which is then now checking out that document and showing various dates and timestamps associated with my labeling and usage of that document. I can come back actually and then pull up content behind the document if I'd want. In this case, I've got a Word document, which is a memorandum about dugong dreaming, and actually then look at the content. And again, I've got my features of hit highlighting associated with that. So what have I done here? I've looked at some features across the whole repository, all of the repositories related to Hewlett-Packard. I've then gone to a use case about my references between myself, Ken Lay, and Jeffrey Skilling because I'm wanting to fire him. I'm looking at my policies and procedures within an HP-Trim repository. I'm federating to an outside source, looking to what happened to me, and then I'm coming back and looking at documentation because I've been reincarnated in another life. A couple of other things to show here. We've got features for advanced search, which are key to our user interface. You can see down here the different pieces of content that are being searched. I've got features that are specific to the trim repository search. You'll see here again that I've got 2 trim repositories going on there. And then you can see general preferences through my user interface of things that I can turn or turn off with my searches. So with that, we've gone through one use case showing features and differentiation with Hewlett-Packard, and then we've gone through a use case with Ken Lay and looking at different components within both HP-Trim repositories, SharePoint repositories, and federated search. We appreciate your time today. Hopefully we've shown you how you can get an additional return on investment with your HP-Trim implementation. Federated search with the ISIS Enterprise Server allows you to federate search with multiple trim repositories and with other source content within your enterprise. This solution gives you an additional return on investment with key mission-critical information at your fingertips, such that you can answer questions about compliance, fiduciary responsibility, and the general health of your organization. We encourage you to visit our website at www.isissearch.com. And if you've personally got questions, feel free to email me or call me at bob.smith@isis-search.com or by phone number 1-303-689-0000. 9998.